I never believed in ghost stories. At least, not until a voice on an empty highway knew my name. A voice that came from a radio that wasn't even turned on. And what happened that night still keeps me awake. My name is Ethan. This happened during the summer of 2018. I was driving alone across Oklahoma along Route 66. The sun had already disappeared below the horizon, and the road ahead seemed endless. No houses, no gas stations, no lights, just darkness and silence. Around 11 o'clock that night, my GPS suddenly lost signal. I wasn't too worried at first. I had plenty of gas, and the highway was completely straight. Then something strange happened. My car radio turned on by itself. At first, there was only static. I reached toward the power button, but before I could touch it, a man's voice came through the speakers. "Don't stop the car, Ethan." My blood ran cold. I was completely alone, and I hadn't told anyone where I was. I immediately shut the radio off. Silence returned. For a few minutes, everything seemed normal again. Then, I looked into my rear-view mirror. A black pickup truck was behind me. At first, I thought nothing of it, but 20 minutes later, it was still there. Same distance, same speed, following me. I pressed harder on the gas pedal. The truck sped up. I slowed down. The truck slowed down. That's when I started to panic. Suddenly, the radio switched on again. Static filled the car, and then the same voice returned. "He's still behind you." My hands tightened around the steering wheel. I looked into the mirror. The black truck was much closer now. Much closer. I pushed the accelerator to the floor. The engine screamed, but the truck continued following me. Then I saw something ahead. An old gas station, abandoned. Its sign was broken, hanging sideways in the darkness. But there was light inside, real light. Without thinking, I pulled in. The black truck continued down the highway and disappeared. Relieved, I stepped out of the car. The gas station looked deserted. Dust covered the windows. The pumps looked like they hadn't worked in years. Yet somehow, the light was still on. I walked inside. The building was empty. No shelves, no furniture, no people. Only a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. Then I noticed something on the wall. A newspaper clipping. The date read July 12th, 1987. The headline said, "Local radio operator found dead along Route 66. Below the headline was a photograph. The moment I saw it, my stomach dropped. It was him, the same man whose voice I had heard on the radio. I stood frozen, unable to move, unable to think. Then the light bulb began to swing, back and forth, back and forth. There was no wind, no reason for it to move. And then I heard the voice again, but this time it wasn't coming from a radio. It was directly behind me. He's back. I spun around. Nobody was there. Then headlights suddenly appeared through the dirty window. The black pickup truck had returned. But this time, It wasn't stopping. It was coming straight toward the building. I ran as fast as I could. Seconds later, the truck smashed through the front wall. Glass exploded everywhere. Concrete flew through the air. I sprinted into the darkness beside the station. The driver climbed out. I couldn't see his face, only a shadow. And in his hands was a rifle. I dove behind a rusted dumpster, pulled out my phone, and called 911. The operator stayed on the line with me until the police arrived. They searched the area, but they never found the truck, and they never found the driver. But that wasn't the strangest part. When I told the officers about the gas station, they exchanged confused looks. One officer asked me a question. What gas station? The next morning, they brought me back to the same location. There was nothing there. No building, no pumps, no walls. Just an empty field. The officers told me the gas station had been demolished nearly 20 years earlier. To this day, I don't know who saved me that night. I don't know what that voice really was. But I know one thing. If it hadn't warned me, I probably wouldn't be alive today. And I definitely wouldn't be here telling you the story. Sometimes the most terrifying thing isn't what is chasing you. It's what is trying to save you.
If you made it this far, you're already one of us.
Every story you just heard, there are dozens more waiting in the dark. Locked doors, empty houses, things that shouldn't exist, but do. Subscribe to Mr. Dread, not because I'm asking, because something out there already knows you're watching. Hit that bell. Join the ones who don't look away.
I'll be waiting.